Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for coming out to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. We are here for a great occasion. This is for educational purposes, and this is for Black History Month. A shout out to all of our friends and family out there that are watching. There was a very engaging conversation that was had over at Treasure Lanes. If you guys did not check that engagement out, I will be dropping the link in the chat. Coddle or empower? Let's get into it. The fine line in Black relationships. We hashtag Harriet Tubman. In this thought provoking video, we engage in a critical conversation about the dynamics between Black women and Black men, particularly focusing on the challenges faced by Black women and expressing their issues. We delve into the historical context, such as the marriage of Harriet Tubman to John Tubman, a free Black man, and explore the complexities of their relationship amidst the realities of enslavement. This discussion aims to shed light on the broader implications of these historical narratives and their relevance to contemporary conversations about race, gender, and identity. Join us as we navigate these important topics. Hashtag Black women, hashtag Harriet Tubman, and hashtag social justice. We'll have a quick monologue and we'll go ahead into the broadcast.
If you'd ask anybody about Little Minty, that's what they called me back then. They'd have told you. I was the most rebellious thing, mischievous too. And I took pride in that, knowing they didn't own me in spirit. And maybe that's how I ought to have ended up, finding freedom on the edges, if not for that one thing. See, there be things that happen in your life. If you're lucky, maybe only one thing, but something that splits your life in two, a before and an after. I'm sure most of y'all done heard how this scar got something to do with my spells. How it is I just nod off in the middle of a sentence and then start right back up again. I done heard all the stories about how this came to be. That I fell 50 feet off a cliff and climbed back up again. That I caught a bullet from a catcher on the outskirts of a Kentucky farm. That I fought off 6 men armed with hammers to a standstill. Truth be told, I was worried about my hair. It was the truth. It wasn't never combed, stood out like a bushel basket. It was so bad I take the grease off of my fingers after dinner and wipe it across my forehead, trying to tame the wildness. That's what I remember most about that day. I was in the front of a store fussing with my hair. Too ashamed to go in looking the way I did. And out of nowhere, there was the white man chasing after one of his rebellious slaves. And his master took his hand and he raised it up. He had a iron weight, a heavy iron weight in his hand, ready to throw it at the slave. And I ain't remember nothing else after that. They said it struck me in my head. And that's when my after started.
Listen here. That was a monologue by a beautiful woman for Harriet Tubman. I actually want to thank all of you all for coming out to the broadcast today. Let me go ahead and get into the chat. We have Eric Hickerson in the building with the roses. We have Nubiology says Queen Tosin, hey, Queen Tosin chat. And then we have Treasure Lane says, I'm here, had a problem with the redirect, but I did announce it. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you, Treasure Lane. And we will be dropping Treasure Lane link in the description of this video so you all can go over and give that discussion a view. All right, so let's get into it. What happened to Harriet Tubman's husband, John Tubman? In 1867, John Tubman was shot by a white man named Robert Vincent after a roadside quarrel. Tubman left behind a widow and four children, while Vincent was found not guilty of murder by an all white jury. Well, you probably are wanting to know, well, why are we talking about Harriet Tubman today? Well, the reason that we are talking about Harriet Tubman is because there's an outrage, there's an outcry, there is a need for some Black women with these Black men. They're looking for protection. They are looking for them to stand up in this role. They're looking for them to be a Malcolm X. They're looking for them to be a Martin Luther King. And there is a big outcry. And Harriet Tubman is one brave, bold, I'm not going to say strong because I think that's an understatement when it comes to, Black women in general, Black in general, we always have to work 10 times harder to prove ourselves, to get these opportunities and things of that nature. We're in a time where our civil rights are about to be violated. We're in a time now where all of our ancestors that have come before us, what they have fought so hard for by boycotting and marching and so much more to have the freedoms in place that we have today. And so when we speak about the current time in this administration, we all have to do our due diligence and come together. I was speaking earlier, I'm here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, Greenwood. A lot of people say Black Wall Street, but it's really Greenwood. It's Greenwood, Archer, and Pine, which is the Gap. There's a lot of history here if you all do not know. Okay, we are a thriving community still, you know, to this day. We're still here, we're still doing what it takes to keep our community moving in motion. And actually, this was it. It was last week. I had the pleasure of going down on Greenwood, the same Greenwood that in 1921 we had a race massacre, and they totally, it was a whole massacre, let's just say that. Planes were flying over, dropping things down. But one thing I can say about Greenwood is we stand firm, we stand tall, and we are ready to rebuild, to restore. And that's what our community is about restoration. And so um, I'm so honored and happy to say that I'm a part of my community. I'm out here doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm spending in my community. Back in those days, the Black dollar circulated 36 or 37 times before it left out of the community. So, what does that mean when you say, oh, it's circulated? Well, if I do work at this nail shop and I go and clean up for them, right? Well, there are other businesses in the area. Hey, I might need hair products. I might want a t-shirt. I might want some food. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave that business after I've received payment. I'm going to go to another business in this area and I'm going to spend money there. You see how that goes? See, it's not going out of the community. I'm going to stick right here and I'm going to spend here. And when I spend here, then our community expands because now we have money flowing through. We have a rotation of the money coming on in. Well, we'll do this coming in because it'll be coming in to us, right? So as much as money that we have in here, the more things that we're able to do for not only our businesses, um, fair uh, uh, fair prices. You're not going to be paying like 10, 12, $20 for no eggs. See, if we stay here, right? We actually in here in Tulsa, not far from me, we just received our grocery store. We just received a grocery store in our community. We would have to drive all the way to Walmart. We would have to drive all the way to Research. But now we have, it's called Oasis and it is Black ran. And so like I said, I'm just so proud of what our community is doing. Now, let me say this, this is not a bash to Black men. This is not a bash to the community. This is an informative to say, hey, if we want things to change, then we have to be the change that we want to see. So if you were looking for us to point fingers and oh, let's get and pile on, no, this is not the live for that. We are here to have an open discussion. And I feel like with us coming together with open minds, and we all have different opinions, right? We all have different opinions. We all have different needs, but we have to voice those. We have to do it in a manner to where it's is received. We can't come in here gun blazing and yelling and stuff. We got to have that conversation. Sometimes these conversations will get heated because these are uncomfortable conversations. These are conversations that we just kind of sweep up under the rug. And I think that's the generational misinformation. And I feel like that we are, I can say for me, always on a re educating journey, re-educated myself, um, and building connections, right? And I want us to really, really pay attention to what's going on in our communities. Um, I kind of look at things as like a case study. Sometimes you just got to get in that field. You got to adapt to the situation to kind of figure out what's going on. What I feel like is going on is there's a lack of accountability, right? There's a lack of accountability, lack of discipline. There's so many biases, right? And we help our oppressors. I say we as a community. I'm not saying you. We can sometimes be oppressing ourselves and others around us and others that look like us. We've got to stop that. We have got to stop that. Then we get outraged when somebody else does it outside of the community. But when it's done inside of the community with somebody that look like you and us, oh, they get a pass, they get to sweep it up under the rug. No, we got to talk about it. I can like you. I can appreciate everything that you do. And thank you for inviting me to the barbecue. Thank you for the birthday gift, but can I still hold you accountable when it's not favorable? That's where it starts. And we start with accountability at home in our communities, then we can come together, then we can be on one accord. But see, when we start saying, oh, get therapy and this, that, and the third, then, oh, I ain't going to go talk to these people and this, that, and the third, baby. There are some things that we have all dealt with, experience. It doesn't even have to be SA. It could be other things. Trauma can come in different things, so it does not always have to be that. But let's talk about it. Are we going to coddle or are we going to empower? That's why we're here. Are we going to coddle or are we going to empower? Are we going to coddle the fact that, oh, just because I like this person and they're not a good representation, but they're doing stuff that's really, not a, you know, on my caliber, and these are things that I just really don't accept in real life, but because I like them and because I just want them to succeed, do I just continue to coddle them or do I sit up here and call them out and hold them accountable? It's a difference. It's a difference, right? If we're saying that we want change, but we're sitting around in these groups and these meetings, and then we just kicking it. It is what it is. But then as soon as we leave these meetings, we getting on the phone with our friends and this, that, and the thing. Then we complaining about this, that, and the third. But baby, what was you doing in that meeting? Arms folded, mouth closed, rocking back and forth. That's where the discipline comes in. You have to be able to turn it on and turn it off in any situation, right? When it's time to gear up, see, we can give commentary. Oh, I can have you laughing, but boom, I'm here. Okay, so we're here. We have a social economic package that we have together. We are about to February 28th. We will not be shopping from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. If you need anything, please get all of your needs, your necessities, and all of that before the 28th. If you do happen to decide to wait to the last minute, baby, shop local, shop in your communities, give in your communities. Do not give to these big corporations. Now you see how I can flip it on and flip it off. That's how we need to be when it's time, when we get the time and we get the mic. Listen here, hold on. Give me 1 second. Listen here, when they put that mic in my face, baby, guess what? Thank you. They're gonna hold it out like that. You got to take the mic sometimes. Sometimes if you won't change, you got to take that mic. They say, what is your opinion? And you say, well, my opinion is in my community, I do feel like we do need funding. We do need we do kind of need to focus on the homeless, and we also need to provide mental health services. I'm so excited to say that the COPES team has partnered up with the Tulsa Police Department, because we do have mental illness running high in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so now the Tulsa PD and COPES have partnered to go on calls when there is a mental health crisis. So that's one of the things that I could say, that Tulsa is definitely stepping it up, and I feel like bringing awareness to mental health is at an all-time high. I mean, people, when you talk about eggs and food and things like this, and then rent, and things just aren't how they were a few years ago. Tulsa used to be a place where you that was very affordable. People would come here to retire. Things have changed. Back to you guys in the studios. Okay, get them that mic back. That's what you do. Okay, when it's time to show up, show up. A lot of people like the judge books prize cover. Baby, you got to set that to the side. We can't focus on what's not. We got to focus on what the prize is. What is our objective? What is our objective here? We got to come together. All right, you all, we're about to have a quick word from one of our royal heirs, Ida B. Wells. You are about to be informed about Ida B. Wells. As you all know, I am in an interracial marriage. And Black history is 365 around my household. And so I encourage you all to definitely make some changes. It starts at home. If we want to see the changes, we have to start at home. So we'll go on a quick commercial break and we will be back with our royal heir to deliver information about Ida B. Wells. All right. So as we go ahead and wait for our royal heir to enter into the building, I want to say that I really appreciate you all. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and also tell somebody that we are live. Happy Black History Month to each and every one of you. Um, I just want to say that these conversations are so, so, so important. And sometimes, we start these conversations and we do not continue those conversations. So we are here to definitely give you that. All right. So we do have our guest in the building. We do have our royal heir in the building. So introducing to you the royal heir. Hello, royal heir.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know why you're here and take on over your presentation.
All right. My name is Iris, and I am the heir of Queen Tulsa, the middle child. And I'm here to tell you guys about Ida B. Wells. Her full name is Ida Bell Wells Barnett. She was born July 16th, 1862, but she had died on March 25th, 1931, from a kidney disease. She died at the age of 68. Where she was born was the Bowling Farm near Holly Springs, Mississippi. Her parents were James Madison Wells and Elizabeth or Lizzie Warrenton. What her jobs were, she was a teacher and a newspaper editor. What she's mainly known for is her journalism exposing the horrors of lynching in the United States in the 1890s. Other stuff she is known for is fighting for women's suffrage and courage and her courageous reporting. Some fun facts about her are she was one of the founders of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP. Another fun fact was she was called the Princess of the Press. She won a posthumous Pulitzer Prize in 2020. She also started the first African American kindergarten in Chicago. She ran for the Illinois State Senate in 1930, but sadly she lost. She was a teacher in a segregated public school in Memphis. She also participated in the first suffragist parade in Washington, D.C. in 1913. She was dismissed from Memphis school system in 1891 for writing an article that pointed out unequal funding of black schools. One of her most famous quotes is, "The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them." And that is all.
Oh, thank you so much, you Royal Air You. Thank you for educating the people. Now, I do want to have a quick conversation with you because there is some laws that are that are in effect to take education out of schools. Now, having me as, a black mom, you're in an interracial family. Um, as far as when it comes to Black history, do you feel like that should be taken out of schools, honey?
I do not personally think that you should take out Black history from our schools because Black history is an important part of the US. And if we don't learn about that history, then we could probably repeat the bad parts of it. And then we want to repeat the good parts to help fight for our freedom and our rights. And yeah, I
Okay.
think we should keep Black history in school.
Okay. Well, I love you and thank you for educating yourself and being a voice in your school and with your peers, and also educating and helping, others in your. I want to brag about you for a minute, okay? Um, my middle child, she is like, we're 10 days apart in birthdays, right? So she's just like so helping, so giving. Like she um had got ahead on her work, and there were like other students in the room, and she would just take time to just go over and help and get people caught up. And when I went to like a PTA meeting, the teacher, they bragged about her. And it starts at home. So having a healthy home and you know instilling in your children, you can have the world. But also, me as a Black woman, my struggles and my history is still important to this day. And I'm so glad that my children are able to receive that and also push it back out into the community. All right, Royal, I love you. We'll see you back in the studio soon.
All right, love you too. See
All right.
y'all.
All right. So that was a word from one of our royal heirs. Okay, so let's get back into Harriet Tubman, right? I want to get into this because I'm all about correction. If you guys see me out here, I know I'd be all over the place, but I'm not too big to where I can't be corrected. So feel free to do that. I want to open up that policy now, because you all are going to see me in a different light. You all are going to see me doing things totally different. It's not going to look, um, it's not going to be the usual because we are forever elevating. And I want you to elevate as well. So let's get into this. Sometimes we have to leave things where they are when it's not serving us, when it's not benefiting us, when it's taking more out of us than it's given into us, sometimes we just got to leave those things behind. That could be a relationship, that could be food, it could be habits. I mean, it could be a plethora of things, right? I want to go here because Harriet Tubman left her husband. I don't know if you all know that, but she left her husband. And it's because he didn't believe in himself. She believed in him. She believed in herself. She was making moves around town, strong. Oh, I don't really like to use the word strong for when it comes to Black women because I could just kind of feel like that's always put out first, right? So let's just say very bold, very confident, very sophisticated woman, right? Had her head on right. You have to understand that her parents definitely instilled the morals and the values, and as far as like the spying and things like that, those really had come to become her automatic defense. She didn't only just think about herself, she was a selfless woman. But she wasn't going to be a silly woman. She wasn't going to be a foolish woman. Either you were with it or you had holla at you, you know? And we have to dig into our Harriet Tubman and sometimes say, let me take this crown off because we about to get the preaching up in here. Okay, let me grab the mic back. Look, what I tell y'all, when that reporter puts that microphone in your face, what are you going to do? Absolutely. And we are reporting live, but we're going to say it, right? Sometimes we have to leave individuals behind. We just have to because it's called what? Baggage. We've been there, we've done that. We all know what regret feels like up in here. We all know what remorse feels like up in here, right? We know. Of course we know. We all done had a bad relationship. We all done had a time where the light went off and we say, you know what? That light came on. Let me cut it off. I'm not ready. Am I talking to somebody out there? When that light came on in your head, baby, you went and cut it off because the thrill, it was so good to you right then in that moment, you know? But guess what? That's how some people get caught up. You in that thrill, you're not thinking, you're not in your mind, you're not thinking clear. It's a thrill that's got a hold of you. The light came on, you went and cut it off. I'm not, that's how it is. When we're not really ready to face our reality and we're not ready to face the music, when we're not ready to lay down in that bed that we made, come on now. We got to pull it together. We have got to do a whole 360. We have got to do a whole three. It's not an option. It's not an option. If you don't buckle up right now, if you don't get serious right now, there's going to be hell to pay. It's time to go. It's time to put the car in drive. Get out of reverse, honey. Get out of neutral. Baby, you got to put that thing in drive, and it is time to go. We sitting around here worried about, oh, okay, this gender, oh, that bathroom, this, that, and the third, baby. And it's a You got it's like you're under the rebel. It's so much going on up here, but we worried about the little things that's going on down here. Baby, it's time to level up. We got to get up there. We gotta get on that elevator. Okay? Because we all know some people's elevator just don't go, it don't reach up. It's malfunctioning. It's mechanical issues going on. Let's get it together. Let's fix it. All right. I'm going into this is because when it comes to cutting individuals off, cutting something off, you've got to do it, and you've got to do it for you. We have got to stop letting people dictate our happiness. We have got to stop going along to get along. We got to stop that. We got to stop it. We have got to stop it. Where am I going with this? Well, let me tell you. The reason why Harriet left John, right, is because he felt it was too risky. He felt it was too risky. And listen here, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we just know. You get that gut feeling, and you get the yes from the high power from the Lord. He say yes, you go with that. You ever find yourself, oh, I should have went with my first mind. Oh, I should have went with my. See, I just knew. See, you the cause of this. No, 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 no. We can't tell nobody the cause of anything. Hello, I am responsible for me. Okay, we got to say that it's accountability. I am responsible for me. I'm accountable for me, for my actions and everything that comes along with it. Right? I'm accountable for me. Accountability is sexy. Doing the right thing, speaking up, is sexy. Now that's sexy. Now that smell good. I got to do what's right for me. And my brain say, get up on here and talk, give a message. I'm not gonna go there in the corner and battle with myself and say, no, I'm not about to do that. Because I'm holding myself back from greatness. It is divine timing. In that moment, I have to react or it will pass me by. It's time for you to start reacting, or time is going to pass you by. Time waits for no man. That's one thing you ain't gonna check is the time. The time ain't gonna go back. It ain't gonna hold up. It ain't gonna give you a pause. Time ain't gonna say time out. Because whether you there or not, life still goes on. 5 minutes ago, we can't go back and get that. We can't go back and get that. It's gone. It's gone, sweetheart. That's just like water going down the sink pipes. It is gone. It's gone. So let's get into it. Speaking of gone, when Harriet did come back for him 5 years later, because she was gone, she said, you know what? You don't want to go. You saying it's too risky, baby. I'm gone. I'm gone. She was gone for 5 years. Guess what? 5 years later, she came back. Okay? She'd come back. She wasn't going to coddle him. She went on and empowered. Okay? She wasn't about to sit right there and coddle him. Either you're on the, if you all know, you want to go on this, you want to escape or not. You want to be a part of the Underground Railroad or not. He said, no, it's too risky. Guess what? She left him there to figure it out. And she went on. She did what she had to do. In that moment, in that time, if she did not react in that time, in that moment, she would have been held back. She would have never experienced those 5 years away, creating, building. Let's talk about it. She come back. Did she have to come back? No, she didn't have to come back. She come back. Okay? To get her black savior, to get her black king. Give him some time to figure it out. She had come back. She discovered that he had remarried. Now get into that. Get into that. She had come back, right? Well, wait a minute. Before she left, okay, you figure this out. You gather your thoughts. You figure this out, right? You saying it's too risky. I feel like you don't want to go. I feel like it's a rainbow on the other side, but he didn't want to take that chance for her. But I want you to get into this. She what? 5 years later, she had come back. She had come back. Have you ever come back for somebody? Hello? You had an ex? Y'all broke up. You went off, did your thing, and got your life together. Now you popping your collar, and you just spit the block, you just circle the block. You come, hey, big head. Y'all know about the hey big head text. Y'all know about it. You know about it. Hey big head. Knowing damn well he ain't no good for us. Right? But because we didn't elevate it and we didn't got up on our stuff, okay, let me go back and hopefully he got it together. Hopefully he got it together. Well, hopefully he see me that I got it together. And, if he don't have it together, he going to want to get it together, right? Hello? Anybody want the mic? Hello? Are we talking? Are y'all getting into it? Are y'all here? Hello? Anybody want the mic? Getting into that. So she came back. He remarried. He was remarried. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the while she was trying to empower him. She wasn't trying to coddle him. Ladies and gentlemen, she was trying to empower him, not coddle him. There's a big difference. We can let these men be men. These men are going to do what they want to do. At the end of the day, women are going to do what they want to do, right? But at the end of the day, that woman is going to circle around. She may spin the block, and hell, she just may not. But you're lucky if she does. Let's get into this before I have to wrap this up. Yes. Okay. Let's get into it. So Harriet later went on to marry Nelson Davis, who she met after John's death. Okay. So John got powed in the head. Okay. John was out there. See, John didn't want the covering. John had a covering when he was with Harriet. Okay. Get into it. Y'all feel what I'm talking about? John had a covering when he was with Harriet. For those of you that know, you know. John had a covering. Come on, somebody. Had a covering when he was with Miss Harriet. But John thought that the grass was greener on the other side. And John soon found out that the grass was not green on the other side. That actually it was the grass was greener with Harriet, okay? And Nelson got to experience that. Absolutely. And the two lived together for 19 years until Davis went to glory. Okay. So I say this to say that you don't have to coddle a man. You can empower your man. Fellas, you don't have to coddle your lady. You can empower her. I'd rather my honey empower me than to restrict me from my greatness, restrict me from my purpose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's so much in that experience, in that situation. We just have to trust the process and go through it. Okay. Listen here, if you all enjoyed this broadcast, we are going to go ahead and drop the link for anybody that would like to come up and sound off on any of the topics, okay, that we did speak on. We'll go ahead and drop the link. We'll have an open discussion. I'm going to go back through the comments and see what we missed. All right, Real Mama Fifi is in the building. Says, hey, Tulsa. Ariel Summer says, hey, Queen Tulsa. Hello. I love Black history, but not as much as a ride along. I know that's right. Jay Monet says, Tulsa chat listening. Hello, how are you? The Miss Ois in the building says, hey, Tulsa. Hey, how are you? Jay Monet says, none of us should. All right. Ariel Summer says, I was telling Hustle that the Black man needs someone to talk and listen to, maybe someone to help and guide them. I believe that too as well. Let's see. Real Mama Fifi says, "Past time to be serious. Just do something, even if from home. Agitation via repeated calls to or representatives in DC, then at home, just do something." Okay, so what Real Mama Fifi is saying is, like, even if you're making phone calls and sending out emails, make sure you are doing what you need to do in your region, in your city. Um, what is a plaque for, Tulsa? Oh, okay. So this plaque right here it was given to us in 2022, and it was honoring Queen Tulsa. Thank you for supporting and encouragement. Oh, it says, thank you for the support and encouragement. And it was given to us by Together We Break Chains. And this was in 2022. So we keep that there. Let's see. He didn't believe in her plans to escape. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes, so it is a people thing. Yes, it is a people thing. It sure is. He was scared to escape, period. Yep, sure was. Ariel Summer says, dirty dog, but he a weak arse man. He said, not 5 years later. Yes, 5 years later, babe. Yes, 5 years later. Did he think she was unalived? How old was the chillin'? Get into it. We can do some research on the chillin' and their ages, okay? Yes, that was the StreamYard link if anybody wants to come up. All right, Miss Ariel Summer says John was a footnote in history, stupid, scary, and selfish man. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Listen here. You know, it is so important for us, like I said, not only to educate ourselves, but educate our community. Um, we do have Real Mama Fifi in the building.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, okay.
Good to see you.
With your messy self calling
Oh
me
yes,
messy.
and you messy too. Listen here, the
uh,
messy sisters are
yeah,
up here.
I
Hey
am.
girl.
I'm the messy grandmother. How you doing? um, One interesting thing. I don't know if I missed it, but Did you say that Tubman's first husband that he was actually a free man? Did you
No,
mention that?
no, so he wasn't a free man. He was actually a slave as well. And when it was time for them to leave and escape, he told her that he felt that it would be too risky. And instead of her coddling him, she empowered him. If this is what you want to do, I'm gonna empower you and let you stay here. And she
Oh,
got
is
the
that what she was doing?
uh-huh.
Empowering him instead of he was a weak. Well, let me shut up. I was gonna say just a weak ass.
Yeah, well, listen here. This is a place where this is a safe place where you say your thoughts, share your experiences. I feel like this is something that we need to talk about. Is it okay for us to coddle these black men, or should we be empowering these black men? And if so, what's the difference?
Oh, I'm not coddling. That's like letting a grown man live in your house until he's 30 or 40 and play games all day. No. There are people that coddle their kids. And that's another thing. I don't know how old you are, but you probably remember civil rights and all that. The marches, even if you weren't too young to march, you remember
Yes,
of them. Well, I think the generation I don't know what they call it. I'd say 35 and under. They were not taught to march. They were not taught to, if things don't act right, instead of getting mad, get a group, organize like we did. I was in college in 69, 70. No, yeah, I was in college in 77. And I was involved in a lot of protests. I love protests. Uh, if it was something that applied to me, but we did that. We didn't think about it. If something wasn't right, we got signs like people are doing now at the different agencies. Um, but I think the young people, I'd say 40 and under, they miss that. I know I did not teach my daughter. I mean, she knew about Black history, but I didn't get her involved. Only thing that was mandatory was you graduate from high school and you vote. You know, if you stand in my house, you have to vote. There was no ifs, ands, and buts. And if you didn't vote for, you vote against. But I think it's important. That's why people that like Pisa, I don't even discuss anything with her. Once I found out that she don't vote, um, I don't listen discussing no politics with her. You know, so that's pretty much what I wanted to say because I was told um, that Harriet's first husband, John, was actually a free man. Because there were free men now, in Maryland, and that's where I think where she got them. There were free men in Maryland and Virginia, places like that, and up to New York. You're aware of that, I'm certain.
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually about to do my research right now. Let me see if he was a free man.
Okay, yeah. And if
Yeah,
not, the person
he
told me
was.
you'll get
He
smacked.
was. He
Huh?
was. He
He was a
was.
free man?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I remember
It
after I,
says,
I bitched so much, the school system went on and started celebrating up here where I'm at, Black History Month, because there weren't many. Like I said, it was 98% white, and the rest was black, Orientals, and a few Africans. So I got them, and they were good. Later on, the parents were thanking me. But initially, nobody wanted to get involved with me because I was considered a troublemaker. Because I demanded that my black child be taught his history. I didn't care what the school said. And I guess to shut me down, because I actually called the paper and told them this was going to be this big rally. It wasn't. It wasn't needed. They started teaching. The very next day, they came in and they told the kids they would be learning that the following week. So he had to do a report on Harriet, and he told me that Harriet, that was my son, he was the one who helped me at 12 or 13. Wait a minute. He wasn't at my age, but he told me that Harriet's husband, the first one, was a free man. So
And
that
look,
makes it even more. Why didn't he go? He was free.
but look,
Because, huh?
your son educating us and saying, "Hey, no, correcting us." That feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's paying attention, right?
Yes. And considering, like I said, I moved him away from not only growing up in DC, not only the crime that's there, it's crime everywhere, but they off the chain sometimes. When I got pregnant and decided I was going to have a baby over 40, um, I decided that I would do whatever was best for him. And it was best for me to leave that area because it wasn't just the people in the street, it was the family as well. Um, yeah, my family got a history that I didn't want passed on to my son. My other son and daughter, they were able to get away from it, but some of them they got involved. They called it the family business. Um, it wasn't anything I wanted my son, so I made the choice to move away. Um, we got older. He asked me, and I told him why, and he told me thank you. He told me I'm glad, Mom. I'm glad because so many of I got three nephews who will never hit the street again, are doing life with no parole. One of them didn't kill anybody. Um, but in the state of Maryland, if you go in a store and you act that person, if you go to rob it and that person believe their life is at danger, you don't have to have a gun. They can charge you um, with robbery, armed robbery. So once he went to jail, and this is my nephew, excellent artist. He went to jail at 18. He's been in there 26, 40 years. He never hit the street again. He ended up getting in one problem behind another. Then
Are you digging in your purse or something?
oh yes, I'm trying to find my cough drop. Sorry. I didn't realize that my yeah, because my throat is kind of sore. I don't know if you recognize my voice a little hoarse. But
I was like, I know what it sounds like to be digging in that purse. I'll be digging in mine.
yeah, I didn't realize because my hand was down in the purse. So I didn't think you could hear, but you got a good nose, girl. I mean, a good set of ears, and you probably got a good nose to go with it. But
Okay.
unfortunately, the family business,
Hmm.
I don't you can pretty much figure out what I'm talking about because I didn't want him and I moved him away from that. Um the
Right.
the females didn't get involved, but males, and I was afraid for my son. Him hanging out with his cousins, first cousins, and only one of them actually been shot to death. He was shot 10 times, so and he held on a week. But he's the only one. The rest of them doing time, But life with no parole, I think I'd rather be shot. You know, I really do. I don't think I would want. I know I wouldn't want to stay in jail for the rest of my life. So now they trying to change things in that community because most of those black people that we grew up with, most of them have been moved out of the neighborhood. But they all still congregate at one community center. So when I last went home, a lot of the guys were down there and they were mentoring. They actively mentoring the young men to keep them, hopefully, from getting in the business. And the ones that's in the business, hopefully they'll get out of the business. But I think it gets hard. But um, if you're tired of going to jail, but that fast money is not worth it. But I don't know how I got to that from Harriet. Probably come out why I left the area. You know. Now that
Right.
my son is grown, I'm seriously thinking about moving back home. You know. So, but we'll see. But thank you, girl.
Oh no.
Um, yeah. Let me go on in here and find me some cough drops. I tell you, hear my cough.
Get you some. You got lemon.
Yes. Oh,
Get you
well, I got lemon juice.
that's fine. You have honey.
Oh yeah, keep some honey.
Well, just do you water, lemon, and honey. Warm it up. You don't need a cough drop.
Water, lemon, no tea.
No, no tea.
Just water, lemon, and honey. Oh,
Mhm.
honey water, lemon,
That's
honey water.
mhm.
I'm gonna try that. I've never done it without the tea bag.
Yeah, warm it up. Don't put no tea in it, but just warm it up and do that every day. That's it's gonna keep you good.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you as usual, girl.
You're
I
welcome.
enjoy myself.
We got to share these remedies and things like that in our community. You know, if you know anything, any remedies, as far as like healthy and stuff like that, drop it in the comments. Always swing by Mama Fifi. It is a pleasure having you here. Do you have a channel?
No, no.
Okay.
Tell me when you all were coming up and you all got diarrhea. Did they give you flour water?
Oh,
That's what the old
diarrhea.
folks did in South Carolina. Yeah, and it
I
works.
don't think I was a
I'm telling
diarrhea.
you.
I remember
I
like
used
if I had like a tummy ache, my grandmother would give me like baking soda, warm water to like settle my
oh
stomach.
yeah for indigestion and stuff. But
Yeah.
no, if you got the runs, um, flour and water, it really works. My sister told me, I said, I ain't doing that. But I was miserable and it was the middle of the night. So I went in there and tried it. Um, first cup, mm, second cup, yep, I ain't had no more problem. So,
Yeah.
oh,
Make sure
all
you
right.
keep some pads around, you know. I mean, and you're one of a particular age. I think that we need to have conversations about health and wellness and kind of what to expect
Yes.
when we reach your age. You know, yeah, we're young right now, but baby, we still gotta get on up
Oh,
there. Okay.
oh, them years went fast because I moved away from town and I was just gonna move here to my son graduated.
Uh-huh.
He been out of school 11 years and I haven't left because the cost of living is good.
Yeah.
Um, it's much better. I'm in the country. When you was talking about, I don't know if you over on James, they was talking about farms. It's a lot of farms, and we have butchers. So I can go to the butcher and get. I mean, they'll cut up oxtails right there while I'm waiting. You
Uh-huh.
know, and next door, his wife has the part with the vegetables. So
Oh,
I am blessed. Excuse me. I'm blessed to be. I'm out in the country now.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the country. I'm where we had one cop when I moved out here. It was only one cop, and he got off work at 8 p.m. and then come back in until the next day. But the
Oh,
state troopers would rotate.
okay, okay.
If you call 911, state troopers came.
So,
You
baby, you're in
know.
the country dirt roads.
I know it ain't that bad, but we only got one traffic light.
Oh, wow.
Just one traffic light. And when I first got here, every time I saw a black person, I'd say, "Do you live here?" And most of them were traveling through. I realized I was on a main road. Nobody lived here. And finally, I went to a can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, because a call came through. I thought I had lost. Finally,
Right.
I went to a fair inside of town, and I met a few blacks. They were all biracial, you know,
Uh-huh.
had black fathers, but didn't make a difference. And I took pictures with them. because because
Black
my girlfriend
people.
told me you ain't gonna find no black people there. I said I gotta take a picture with you so my girlfriend to know that I found a black person, and she was the one told me it's about three of them in town. You number four, but
Yeah,
actually in this building, it's 44 apartments, and we have three um three blacks. But everybody stayed to themselves, which I like. Nobody
yeah,
just comes dropping over. I'm
yeah.
fine with that. They ain't got to drop over.
Mhm.
I am perfectly fine. So let me
Well,
shut up.
oh no, I was gonna say like when it comes to like you said that you have your butcher and then you got access to the veggies.
Yes,
That you
a
a really good
farm.
here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I like being out here, um, because it's nice when I sit up there and watch him cut up short ribs. I mean, they grow. They got a farm, so they got the cows and stuff right there, and the chickens on the
Oh,
farm. It's a big place. I almost said the name. They pretty much they really figure out where I was then.
right, right,
But
right.
I
Yeah.
ain't worried about nobody coming here. Cause since there's so many, so few blacks, any black stands out. When I first moved out here, my son used to say, I don't like coming out there. The way the white cops look at me. So I
Oh,
approached them and told them, this is my son. I say, so if you see him, you remember who he is. Oh, thank you. They remember me from when the lights and stuff went out. I bought them cases of water, you know. And so they remember you when you do things. And I told that my son, I said, I told him who you are because he felt uncomfortable. He said, they
yeah.
always staring at me. I said, yeah. They wondering not who that black person is. Who's that nigga? That new
Oh,
one. Yeah, that's what they probably thinking. Let's
yeah.
be real. You know, this was a KKK stronghold back in the 40s. That's why I say, oh no, I got to go there. I got to bring it a little um, flavor. And it do, you know, I
So
get along.
are you concerned about still living there, like in this climate that we're in right now?
Hell no.
Okay.
Oh, everybody in Ohio got guns. Everybody. In
Oh,
fact, mm, I don't know. But in fact, you don't even have to register a gun. Like if you come to town and you got a gun, you can give it to
oh,
me.
a pow pow.
Yeah. Oh, a pow pow. You could give me a pow pow and I don't even have to register it.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, I'm in
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm in Trump country. When Trump was running, there were signs everywhere. I'd be laughing. I said, if I break down,
I'm here with you.
but let me get off this phone. I'll be talking all day. I appreciate it.
You come by anytime. Thank you, Mama Fifi. And you are more
All
than
right.
welcome. Happy Black History Month.
All right. Thank you. Same to you.
Welcome.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, that was Mama Fifi. Thank you so much for coming by and engaging with us. We have actually reached the end of our broadcast. We want to thank simply you for all that you all do for us. Um, let's see. And please make sure you like, share, subscribe to Treasure Lane. Thank you so much. let me go ahead and put Treasure Lane's link into the chat, and then I'll also put it in the description of this video. If you all were entertained, if you all were informed, please let us know by dropping back in the comments and also sharing. Treasure Lane. Let's see. Okay. All right, I'm about to share the live. I'm at the link to where you all can go over and give him a follow. And we want to thank those that have come over from his channel. Yeah. So making sure I'm getting all my thank yous out. Thank you to Ariel Summers. Thank you to Jay Monet. Thank you to who else do we have? Real Mama Fifi, the Miss O, Treasure Lane, Nubology, Eric. Thank you for coming by. I'm dropping a link right now so you all can go over and follow Treasure Lane. But this concludes our broadcast. And I'm so excited for the next one. So you all have a wonderful, safe day on purpose, and we'll see you on the next podcast. So long.